Hey, g'day folks, how you going? Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, then thanks for stopping in. And if you are a return viewer, then thanks for coming back all the time. In today's video, we are going to the Flinders Ranges. This is another one of those places that I have been wanting to go to for a long time. Now, I know it's a big place and I'm only going to be doing the more touristy side things that most people would be going to do. But it's enough to give you a taste of what the place might be like, and I'll probably be coming back again another time to do other bits. But this week there is a lot of driving, so there is going to be a lot of looking out the front window, but it's the best way that I've got to try and give you the feeling of the place. We're going to be doing something like about 200 kilometers in the next 20 minutes. So let's get started.
Long ago, the land that is now the Flinders Ranges was covered by a shallow sea. Over millions of years, sand, silt, and remains of sea creatures settled on the seafloor, forming their layers of sediment. Then, around 540 million years ago, the Earth began to change. Powerful forces deep underground pushed and folded these layers of sediment, lifting them up to create tall mountains. Some of the rocks even changed into new types because of the intense pressure and heat. For hundreds of millions of years, these mountains stood tall, but they were slowly worn down by wind, rain, and rivers. The flowing water carved out valleys and gorges, gradually reshaping the landscape. In the middle of the ranges, a special place called Wilpena Poundfold. It's a large, natural bowl surrounded by high hills, created by the folding and uplifting of the rocks. More recently, the land was pushed and lifted again by tectonic forces, adding to the rugged beauty of the Flinders Ranges. These ranges also hold ancient secrets. Fossils of some of the earliest forms of life on Earth, dating back over 600 million years, have been found here. These fossils tell us about the very beginnings of complex life on our planet. Today, the Flinders Ranges are a beautiful and rugged landscape, shaped by millions of years of geological activity. When you visit, you are walking through a place that has been slowly crafted by nature's forces over an incredibly long time, telling a story of creation, change, and enduring beauty.
Today we're doing the drive that goes through the Flinders Ranges. It was recommended to us by one of the local blokes in the Wilpena Pound resort, and basically we're driving through the middle of the Flinders Ranges, and then we'll come back out onto the road out the back, drive back down that road. That's a bitumen road, this is bitumen road in here, and then take a scenic drive which brings us back over to this road to come back into Wilpena Pound. So we're kind of going to do a bit of a circle, and we're checking out lookouts along the way. I've just stopped in here at one of these campsites you got. They're not free, you have to pay for them. You've got to pay online before you get in here, sort of thing, before you get set up. There's not very much mobile phone coverage in here, so you've got to do it before you get here. And they've got numbered sites. Where did I see them? So there's one down here, it's number 4, number 3. So they've got sites, and you're allocated a site that you can park in. There's a campfire over here, there's another one over there, the toilet over the back over there. So it's got some limited facilities, and I would imagine you've got because I can't see any rubbish bins anywhere, so you probably got to take your rubbish and stuff all out with you. But yeah, it is just one of the little campsites they have if you want to do some bush camping. Not free camping, but bush camping. I tell you what, driving down this road through here, it's amazing. I mean, it's all dried up at the moment. If it was green, it would obviously look a hell of a lot better. But I mean, that is the Australian bush. But even so, driving through these roads here, you just take your time, casually drive through, and it's, for me, it feels a bit like when you're driving or going through the Alps. When I was on the train going through the Swiss Alps, because there's pine trees on the hills. Even over the back here now where we are, there's pine trees, or some sort of form of pine tree. So they must be, they're natural, they can't have been planted or anything, because they're pretty sort of sporadic around the place. So it's really an amazing drive. And the fact that it's bitumen, so you don't have any hassles with corrugated roads or anything. The roads going off into the lookouts and things, they're all bitumen. The one we just went up to, I can't remember the name of it, and that was definitely a high clearance vehicle needed to go in there. Probably could have done it with a two-wheel drive. He recommended all the stuff we did. We're all two-wheel drive except for one part we're going to do. But yeah, that middle bit there, I think you need four-wheel drive for that, I think, just to be on the safe side. There's a bloke at the bottom with a Volvo when we're coming out. I don't know whether he was waiting for us to come down or he was deciding whether he should actually do it. Anyway, I'm going to just drop my tyre pressures on the car because I'm still running on towing pressures on the rear, and it's a bit high for some of this shaly rock they've got around here and some of these tracks. So I'm going to drop my pressures a little bit just to be on the safe side. Let's see what else we can find, eh? As you set off on your drive, the landscape quickly begins to change. The flat plains give way to rolling hills, and soon the rugged peaks of the Flinders Ranges come into view. These ancient mountains rise sharply from the earth, their rocky outcrops glowing in shades of red, orange and purple, depending on the time of the day. Now, our first stop is a place called Hucks Lookout. Now, I've got a story of how this place got its name, but I haven't got a lot of evidence to suggest that this story is actually true. But for the sake of the video, and in the absence of any other stories, let's just pretend that this is fact. So, long ago, a pioneer fella came out here. His name was Jack Hucks, and he was looking for somewhere to get established and make a life for himself. He'd heard that there was good possibilities out in this direction, and he found a spot and started doing some farming. And every day he would come up on this hill here, and he would just sort of sit there and watch the sun go down, looking over the Flinders Ranges. And over time, he established a farm, he set up a homestead, and still every night come up here, sit, watch the sun go down over the Flinders Ranges, and just kept going on and on every day. From his vantage point, he could see for miles across the rolling hills and the vast plains that stretched towards the horizon. It was a place of peace, where he could escape the struggles of everyday life and connect with the land that had become his home. Over time, Jack knew the path of the rivers, the secret of the wildlife, and the stories of the old rocks. His lookout would become a place where anyone could come and see the world as Jack saw it. Jack took his final breaths here, looking out over the land he loved. The community honoured Jack's memory by officially naming the spot Hucks Lookout. It became a place where people could come and experience the same sense of wonder and connection to the land that Jack had felt. Over time, Hucks Lookout became more than just a place to view the scenery. It became a reminder of the pioneer spirit, a deep love of the land, and a place where people could connect with the place they call home. A little down the road from Hucks Lookout is an even more inspiring lookout. Driving up to Stokes Hill Lookout, you navigate through winding roads that ascend gently, offering glimpses of the sweeping landscapes that await at the top. The journey is part of the experience, with the changing scenery and the anticipation building as you climb higher. At the top, you're greeted with an awe-inspiring 360-degree view. The rolling hills stretch out to the west, while the rugged peaks and ridges of the Flinders Ranges dominate the horizon to the east. The colours of the landscape shift throughout the day, with the soft morning light casting a golden hue, the midday sun highlighting the rich reds and oranges of the rocks, and the setting sun bathing the scene in a warm, glowing light. As day turns to night, being far from the light pollution of cities, Stokes Hill Lookout will provide an inspirational position to watch the night sky. The Milky Way stretches across the sky and constellations twinkle brightly, making it an ideal spot for those interested in astronomy or simply enjoying the wonders of star-filled sky. Our next stop brings us to a spot that seems to be everywhere. Everyone wants their own China wall. I've been to the one in Halls Creek in WA, but this one is so much bigger. Unlike its famous namesake in Asia, this wall has not been built by human hands, but by the forces of nature. The China Wall is a quartzite ridge formed millions of years ago. This natural process carved out a long narrow ridge that, when you view it from the certain angles, resembles a wall stretching across the landscape. The wall stands tall with jagged edges that rise sharply from the ground, creating an almost perfect line that runs along the ridges of the hills. This way it seems to divide the land into two, giving the impression that it was purposely placed there. The path leading to the wall can be a bit challenging, requiring a hike through uneven terrain, but the effort is well worth it. Just not for me. No way in the world I'd be walking up that hill that put a rock up there. Our next stop is the little mining town of Blinman, and it was a great place to stop for lunch. I wonder what its life history is. Let me ask a stranger.
Blinman began its life as a mining town in the 1860s, following the discovery of copper by a shepherd named Robert Pegleg Blinman. The find was so significant that it led to the establishment of a mining operation, which quickly grew into a thriving community. The Blinman mine became one of the most important copper mines in South Australia, attracting miners and their families from all over the region. The town was officially surveyed in 1864 and named after Blinman, the shepherd whose discovery changed the fortunes of the area. During its peak, Blinman was a bustling town with a population of several hundred people. It had all the amenities typical of a mining town, including shops, a school, a post office, and several hotels. Blinman is surrounded by the rugged beauty of the Flinders Ranges. The town serves as a gateway to some of the region's most spectacular natural attractions, including the Parachilna Gorge, the Breathtaking Gorge, and the expansive plains of the outback.
From here, we're taking the scenic drive over to Parachilna. This is a gravel road, but it's either just been graded or because the speed limit is only something like about 40 or 50 kilometres an hour, and with all the windy bends it's hard to get much more than that anyway, this road is smoother than some bitumen roads. Besides, why would you want to go past all this at speed? Sit back and enjoy the drive. Another benefit of driving along slowly is that you make less noise, so you have more chance of seeing the wildlife. I think this might be a kite. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. Stopping also lets you take in the view for a moment. This next section has some of the best scenery along this road, and there are quite a few great bush camps along the dry riverbed. If I come back here again, and I think it's on the cards, I'll be stopping for a night or two in this area. Visiting Parachilna Gorge is a journey into the heart of the Flinders Ranges, where you can experience the raw, untamed beauty of one of South Australia's most iconic landscapes. Whether you're driving through or camping under the stars, the gorge offers a chance to connect with the natural world and immerse yourselves in the history and the culture of this ancient land. Here we have some locals trying to cross the road. If you're into long distance walking, there's a trail that starts at Cape Jervis, where you catch the ferry to go to Kangaroo Island, and stretches all the way to Parachilna Gorge, here in the Flinders Ranges. This incredible journey spans 1,200 kilometres, passing through many of the places we've explored along our travels. Once again, it's a case of heading from the east to the west, giving you the best experience along this road, because the scenery just gets better as you move along. The rugged peaks of the ranges gradually give way to the vast open plains. The land flattens out, signalling our passage to the other side, where the wide country spreads out before us in gentle, unbroken stretches. We've just driven along a 30 odd kilometre dirt track. It's in pretty good condition. Definitely can do it in two-wheel drive, but I probably wouldn't do it in a Mazda 626 or a Commodore or something. A bit of ground clearance in a few places would be an advantage, but man, there's some amazing scenery through the hills and that. But you can see out the back here behind me, this is the other side of the Flinders Ranges. Our camp is down that direction. On the other side, on the eastern side, this is the western side. So we're going to go down here a little bit further now, and there's a couple of lookouts we're going to turn off and go down, and we've still got a scenic drive to do, which will get us back to Wilpena Pound. One of the surprising things to me while driving through the Flinders Ranges is the amount of working stations that are out here. And of course you can stay on them as well, but they just coming along the road here, we're just doing this scenic drive through here. It's pretty good. Just come across this old historic site. It's an old bullock queuing yard from 1870s. So I guess the bulls and the cows, the bullocks and that, came in that end and got funneled out the end down here. Apparently this is the restored version. Bullock teams were a crucial part of Australia's history, particularly in the 19th and early 20th centuries. They played a vital role in the development of the country's infrastructure, helping to build railways, transport goods to and from remote areas, and support the agricultural and mining industries. Okay, so read the sign and you shall learn. So what it was queuing was putting shoes on them. So they would hold the bullocks in here so that they could put the shoes on. The cattle were used to bring the large native pines down from the Flinders Ranges. So there you go, they are native to the area for the construction of the overland telegraph line. Yeah, so that's what this is all about. There you go. Just listen to that sound. I was able to get up close to one of these pine trees. They're all through the whole pile of hills here, just all the way along. Heaps and heaps and heaps of them. These would have been the pine trees that they were using for the telegraph poles for the telegraph line going through to Darwin, as we saw back at the where the stockyard was. You look up here behind me, up here, just the whole hill up here is all full of pine trees. They're not really overly tall tree, but yeah, as I said earlier, you know, just makes me think of the Alps in Switzerland, you know. Funny. Didn't know we had that sort of thing here. That's why we go on these holidays, so we can learn stuff that we didn't know. Let's keep moving. As we were driving down the road, we passed a sign to Black Gap Lookout or something like that. This wasn't on our provided map, but we thought, let's check it out. Well, we came to a fork in the road.
Yes, sir, turn left at the fork in the road. Permit! I don't believe that.
The left track had a fence across it, and the right went up a creek bed that looked like it hasn't been driven for a long time. So I'm guessing it may have been closed to the public, and that's why it's not on the map. So, not wanting to upset anyone, we carried on our way back to the caravan park, which I'll do a review of when we get to the end of this series. Well, that's pretty much the end of the drive, the scenic drive. We're getting back into the flat land, so I guess into the sort of more station country. So we're going to head back to our campsite at the resort, and tomorrow I'm going to go and do one, maybe two of the walks that they have out the back of the resort, which goes into Wilpena Pound. So we'll go in there and see what that looks like. So that's, as I said, pretty much it for today. Well, there you go. What an amazing place. I know I say it all the time, but it really was amazing. The camera does not do it justice. You really need to get out there and experience it for yourself for a few days. And if you can, try and stay in some of those campsites that were around. They look pretty good. But But there was one other place I wanted to go to, one other drive I wanted to do, and that was, I think it's called Parachilna Gorge or something. I'm probably not pronouncing that properly, but there's a few lookouts off that I would like to go and have a look at, but maybe next time. Anyway, if you like the video, then give it a thumbs up, because that'll help the channel out by getting YouTube to show my videos to other viewers. And also, if you don't want to miss anything, hit that subscribe button down the bottom down there and the bell next to it, because that'll let you know when I've uploaded another video. Now, next week we are going into Wilpena Gorge. No, Wilpena Pound it's called. I'll get it right in a minute. We're going to be walking in the Wilpena Pound. What an amazing place that is. I can understand why the Aboriginals think it's something special about it, because it is special. Anyway, wait till next week, you'll see it then. Anyway, that's it for now. So till next time, happy travels.